Christmas, by the way. I almost forgot. I literally shot this video, like 4 different aspects of this video, and you'll see like the cuts. But and I always forgot to start by saying Merry Christmas. We're on the 25th. I'm filming this on the 25th. So I hope the day went well. Merry Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas on the 25th, or at least for those who believe that Jesus was born on the 25th of December. Is trusting in the divine easy? Well, I can definitely tell you it's not. Alright, I mean, believe me, okay, I'm Christian, and so the only reference I will have is that of Jesus, right? And I mean, Jesus was pretty certain of his role to play up until I think he was 33, right? And then things got tough, things got difficult. Then he's like, okay, I know how this is gonna end, and it's scary because I mean Jesus was part divine, part human, right? So his human side was like, I don't want to die, but it also was like, I have to die for my Father, right? For God. And I mean, so trusting in the divine is not easy, but definitely worth it. I mean, the amount of times I've done stuff and that they've come out null was, I can only count, but at least every single time I've learned something, I've become smarter, I've become more experienced, and they hurt. But the more you hurt, the bigger the lesson. I mean, just take my car accident for an example. Okay, well, I wasn't driving a car, I was walking and I got hit by a car, but it was a difficult process, a very difficult process, but I got out of it at the other end. It took some time, but I did it. Well, we did it. I did it with God, right? We did it. So I'm proof that it can be done. That it's not easy, but that it can be done. Right? So it's not what's the word I'm trying to use? It's not easy. It's not something that anybody prefers, but it has to be done, right? It's like, do you think Jesus decided to be the Son of God, to get on that cross and to die for his Father? No, he didn't. But it is what it is. It's, some people have, I'm not saying this to like toot my own horn, but I'm saying this as, if you rise up to the challenge that God has put in front of you, everything else becomes a piece of pie, right? Alamod, which, if you don't know what that means, what that refers to is a piece of pie. Alamod is a piece of pie with ice cream on top, right? I'm not sure if it's any type of ice cream or if it's just vanilla, but generally when they say like an apple pie with alamod, there would be a ball of ice cream on top of it. Yum. Just so you can put things in perspective, right? And just remember, alright, God's rejection is never God's denial. Okay? Generally, it means that there's something better for you out there, so just hang tight, wait. Well, not wait, just live your life and expect that what you want is coming in. Maybe not in the shape you were initially expecting, but it is definitely going to come in even better than what you expected, but slightly different, which is never easy for the conscious mind to comprehend, but it is what it is. So just remember that it maybe not in the way you thought it would come in, or in the aspects that you initially envisioned, but it's definitely coming in. But that's just a part of our human nature, you know. We need to know things before they actually happen. And in reality, we don't actually need to know anything. Just need to trust in the divine. How have you ever thought about this? Animals trust in the divine, trust in their connection to source more than we do, and they seem to get along great. Now, of course, some animals, you know, there might be a drought or a famine, and they will get affected by it. But when you trust in the divine, you also know that this life experience that we're currently living is just a blip in our soul's evolution, right? We experienced it specifically so that we learn a specific lesson, so that our soul becomes more mature, more wise, before it goes back to heaven. At least that's the way I see it, alright? Because our soul has lived many lifetimes, and at least you'll know the difference between an old soul and a young soul. A young soul generally doesn't think that far ahead, or doesn't necessarily have such a wise air about them, or at least a wise way of dealing with certain things that come up in their lifetime, or at least someone who hasn't experienced heartache or physical pain in their lifetime. Alright? If once you experience it once in this lifetime, you've experienced it in your adult life, you'll kind of be like, yeah, okay, I remember that, and I want to be mindful of the situation I found myself in, right? And all the things that I learned, and all the things I need to avoid so that doesn't happen again, or something along those lines. So you become more mature, more wise, and generally that's how you as a soul evolve, right? Because your soul is constant. Your soul has no physical, body. It's an energetic entity, and that lives on. So you as a soul what I'm trying to say is that you as a body might have a very short lifespan, but your soul has experienced so much more, just so much more, right? And just knowing that, just comprehending that, will just give you a little piece of mind and a little more understanding. Now, this is what I think. You don't have to abide by this perspective at all, okay? It's just what I think. So, is there something that you are holding on to tightly that you could kind of leave a little bit of a wiggle room for God to play with? For God to play with, so that the divine can come in and bring you exactly what you want, right? Let me know.